Welcome to Project Pack number 9. My name is Rick,
Hi, I'm Maria.
and today I am doing my tile on a gray tile. There were some white and gray and tan tiles in the project pack. And since my way of doing Flux is so different from Martha's or Maria's, I thought I would just show you how I approach it. And mine are more like these leaves that come out. And mine go in all sorts of different ways. Like they might start from the same place, or they might, like in this case, they'll go off the top. Different directions. Sometimes I'll loop back on myself. If I have anything in the back of my mind other than just like what's happening at the moment, it's, well, how can I create some spaces that I can add some circles to, and you'll see that afterwards here. So I just put these leaves in, and then I'll go back in and find the largest space, or I find a space and put in the largest circle possible. And once I have those done, I'll go back, depending on how fine I want to draw, and find some smaller spaces, and again, put in as large a circle as will fit. And then I go and fill up all of the interstices with the dark pen. So here I am using the dark green pen, and just filling up all those spaces. And that's my approach to the basic structure of Flux. And when I first started doing Flux, I was remembering it looked like the leaf of purslane, which is an herb that I used to grow when I had a garden. So I would go back in and just put this center line down, and maybe I'll put a dot or not. But if you notice on this pen, we'll do a little close-up here, I'm taking advantage of this pen that you can push really hard. So I'm just barely touching when I begin, but then I push. See how it gets thicker? So you can really take advantage of the resilience or the strength of that nib and push on it pretty heavy. And then I might put a couple dots on. So Maria had done a sample and was playing around. I said, "Oh, that looks just like malachite." And I had a couple slabs of malachite, and you can see that light and dark shifting there. And it's all aura-ing, right? Here's another piece I found, right? Look at that. It's like nature tangles. It's so inspirational. I mean, so anyways, I figured I'm going to make a formula. So I'll look at this and I'll say, okay, light, light, dark, light, dark, dark, light, thick, and I thought, oh, I'll just repeat this over and over and see what happens. So, I made my little formula there, and
It's just, you can see how simple this tangle actually was. It looked complicated, but his first stroke down was this simple aura of the tangle flux. So this is going to dictate the whole rest of the tangle.
right? So this is it's like resonating. So you think of it like, maybe you throw a pebble in a pond, and once it's thrown, it's gone. And then it just like, however it hits, wherever it hits, that's where the auras resonate out from. And then you just watch it. And in this case, the pebble is this amazing shape, like Maria said, created by the flux. So every time you draw another aura, it takes on, it's always a little bit different. So I'm following my formula very, precisely.
That's what
checking.
Rickies do,
That's
yeah.
what I do. It's like, and sometimes it's neat to have that elegance of limits, you know, and just see where it takes you.
But
But you'll also see that I
yeah,
completely dumped it.
rules are meant to be broken, right?
And so I promptly break my own guidelines here because I realized I want to do it a little different
It's on the fly.
on the fly. And you know, that is, now that I think of it, it's a really nice little lesson or suggestion is that even when you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do, you get partway there and you say, yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but let's go in this other direction. And that's where, you know, trusting what's coming from your own, you know, imagination and creativity, and just learning to follow those signals and say, I feel like doing this.
This
I have
was a
this,
really pretty tangle.
right? And it's basic, simple aura. But what's so amazing is the symmetry and how it matches that malachite, even to the color, the light and dark green.
I think that's probably what had made you think of it
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
beginning, and then you realize how much it was exactly that.
Yeah, I went running, and I said, "Oh, I forgot to say what I was grateful for." And when I was studying with Hollis Little Creek, the Anishinaabe elder that taught me flute and a bunch of other stuff, he would always start grateful at meals for giving thanks, first of all, for the air we breathe. And when you think of it, you can go maybe, what, a couple minutes without it?
So it should be the first thing
So
we're grateful
it's
for.
really
Yeah.
it's a very basic thing, and I think it's, at least for me, it's easy to forget those things that are so important.
So you can see he's going off in a different direction here. He saw an opportunity in that corner there to make these auras start going in another direction, and then just ignored it. It's like,
Right? So there's this little layering of how you know, you can always change, and you know, it was getting to be a little. It just said, oh, that's what belongs there, and so I guess there it is. But it was totally unplanned. So the way I shade flux is I will layer down a whole like clump of graphite at the narrow
that
edge,
is a dark clump.
right?
Yeah.
And then just guide it up a little bit towards the top. You want to leave some of it obviously unshaded, but then I'll use the graphite that heaviness picked up and just add it to the orbs.
Gives them a pearlescent look.
Yeah, maybe the tip a little bit. Little smiley face, just a little bit away from the edge. And then for doing the perk, same thing on the edge, so it looks like, oh, they're nestled in that little opening, and it just sort of opened up like you'd, you know, open up some snap peas and see them inside. And at first I thought, oh, I'll have enough graphite on my my tortillon to do that. And I played around with that a little bit. And I said, there's not enough contrast. So I went back in with the pencil, laid a little graphite down. And that's the beauty of one of the beauties of the pencil. You can always add more. So those pop up a little better now, right?
It's nice and soft on the gray tile, the contrast.
Yeah.
So now here comes the malachite. This is going to be the fun part of shading.
Yeah, so this is going to lift that flux right up off. Right? Beautiful. So now I'm going to go back in with the graphite here.
You can see he's going where those little divots you can see like a sort of a line there, but it's not a line. It's just a curvature of the
Right,
line.
right.
That's my favorite part right there, that little tuck-in thing.
So
Almost like a
that,
mushroom,
right?
right?
That little over and under, just sort of take advantage of that and emphasize that. And again, we're just putting down enough graphite here to, to use when we come back with our tortillon, right? And just smooth that out. So now I'm taking advantage of the gray to come back on top with the white charcoal here, the General's white charcoal. And just add that. A lot of times I just use the pencil or the charcoal itself as a tortillon and blend that in with the graphite. Right, nice little pearls there.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit on the tip of the leaves. And then I'm going to go over those in the center, just so give that sense of, oh, they're like rounded and it's catching a little highlight there. And you can be pretty heavy-handed with the charcoal. So I think a little bit more. So there's another example. It's sort of like a very natural tile, a little bit of plant, a little bit of rock, mineral. So thanks, everybody, and look forward to seeing you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Bye now.